So my little project for today is to reinforce the filters on these air intake vents. I just cleaned these out yesterday. You have to unscrew them. This is one thing I don't like about the Airstream design, is that there's one for the back unit and one for the front unit, and you have to unscrew these to take them off to clean them, so it's just not super convenient. There is a little filter inside here that I'll show in a bit. But when I vacuumed them out and cleaned that filter, there was dust all up in the intake, and there's dust coming out of the air vents as well, so I cleaned those off. I've also kind of noticed that I have kind of a persistent, intermittent, kind of dry cough when the AC is running, and I think it's just pumping dust around. So with the dog and myself, it's a good bit of dust floating around, but vacuuming and that sort of thing cleans it off surfaces, but I think it's getting up into the air intakes. So I did a search on Airstream forums. I was going to see if there was something like a residential air filter you could put up in there. And there's this stuff, which is actually register filters that you put there. So I'm going to cut these down and put them in addition to the regular filter that is up there. And hopefully it won't restrict the airflow too much, but I'm hoping this will really cut down on the amount of dust that's up there. So we'll see how it goes. So you can kind of see there that this is the filter that these come with. So there's kind of a metal grate, and then this sits in there like that. Some people have said putting additional filter material on top of this, it gets sucked up into the intake. I don't think so. I think I'm going to try to get it so that it overlaps a little bit and is held down by the screws. But we'll see. I just want to reinforce that a little bit. I've vacuumed it out, but you can kind of see up in there, there's still some kind of remaining dust on the tubing and some of the stuff up there. But yeah, it's getting way too much dust up in there. I will say that the previous, on the R-Pod, the filters were similar to this. It was like one of those Dometic units that sits kind of on the ceiling, one of the big kind of rounded intake pieces, but yeah, it was similar to this. I mean, so this is not incredibly different, but I feel like something more residential would be more substantial for kind of reducing that stuff. These should all be the same, so I'm just gonna use that as a template. I wish it overlapped a little bit more on the side edge, but that's okay. I think it'll overlap enough on the end edge that will hold it in. So there's 4 of them, so I just need 4 of these. I think that the stuff I'm seeing says to change these about every 90 days. So we'll see how that works. Yeah. All right, like I say, I'm going to keep doing that for the other vents. Hopefully like I said, the air intake is not inhibited by that. All right, filters are installed, all 4 vents. I'm going to turn it back on here. So I still feel a good airflow. Hopefully it's enough. We'll see how that does. Hopefully that'll improve the air quality in here.